This is going to be a basic tour of my rodent breeding facility. You can see it's a detached garage. The windows have all been recently installed. The door is new also. It's a 6-pin lock for added security. It was not insulated before, so we had to do that. We also had to install a standalone AC unit. It vents out the window. It also does help vent in terms of the smell. Previously we had an exhaust fan in the bedroom window in the old location. We did buy 3 exhaust fans to put in the windows, but so far it hasn't been necessary. Maybe once we have more rodents it will be. These are the containers that the food is in. I do make my own mix. The rat mix is based on Missouri, and the mouse mix has a base of sow feed and wild bird seed. This is one of the large shelves. They are muscle racks that are available at Lowe's. These are 66-quart hefty bins that you can get at Lowe's. Usually I use these for maternity bins for the racks, or a pair of rats or a trio or something like that. As far as the lids go, basically we just cut out the top with the grinder, then cut the hardware cloth to fit. Attach it to the inside here, and then we actually use the nuts and bolts to connect. I think in a couple we have just the corners done, but it's good to do the middle ones because the hardware cloth tends to warp anyway. The shelves are very easy to put together. Basically you start from the bottom and these just slide in, and then you just drop these panels on the top. I don't remember exactly how much they are. I did just order one offline for $60. It's the same size as the large one. They're more at the store, but you might be able to get them offline for cheaper and with free shipping. The 10 gallons I use for mouse hoppers. I am working on replacing those just because 10 gallons are such a pain in the ass to clean. These are the larger mouse bins that I posted before that I'm trying to replace all the 10 gallons with. These are the mouse maternity bins. They're 15 quarts. It's the same deal with the lids in terms of how they're constructed. You see, these I only had a 1/2-inch hardware cloth, and that's not small enough to where the hoppers can't crawl through, which is why I have to go to 10 gallons. So these are made with 1/4-inch hardware cloth, and the rest of the mouse tubs that we're going to be making are going to be made with 1/4-inch hardware cloth. These are the colony bins for mice. I keep about 10 females and 1 male to a colony. I do pull them once they're obviously pregnant and put them in the maternity bins, and then These are the grow out bins for male mice and female mice. They're separated by sex. And then I would move large enough females into the colonies to replace the pregnant ones that get pulled. This keeps it at pretty much a constant supply of mice. I mean, you can see how many maternity bins that I have. Each maternity bin usually has 2 pregnant mice with their litters, sometimes 3 if I have a lot of pregnant females and not enough bins, but 3 at the most. I prefer 2. These are the larger rat bins. They're 50 gallons. I basically keep the non-breeding females in these, or sometimes I will use these as breeders. Here's some females. They're almost ready to be bred. I mean, I could, and that's the blue-capped one is older female. She's kind of their mentor right now. And these are females that have bred recently, and one of the grow-out females that's still young. This is the gas chamber. It's not too big. Basically, there's just a hole here. But you have your. This is just a CO2 can for paintball. You can get these at Dick's Sporting Goods, and they also fill them there. I write down the full weight on here, just so before I go to gas anything, I can weigh it and see how much I have left. This is the adapter for it. You just screw it on and you twist this, so it'll basically let you control the airflow, and this just goes in here when you have it attached to the gas can. And these holes are to allow the oxygen to go up and release through there once the CO2 is going in. If I'm gassing like multiple groups of rodents, usually after the gas will settle down here at the bottom because CO2 is heavier than oxygen, and so usually you don't have to use as much gas the second go around because it's already there. And generally once you put them in there, they're already on their way to passing out. This is the vacuum sealer. You can get these at Walmart. And I use these bags. Basically, this is just a little place you put down. It has the imprint of this right here, and it vacuums the air out. Helps them last longer. As far as cleaning, I don't really have anything too crazy. I try to keep some extra empty bins, especially with maternity bins, so I can just set up the bin, transfer the mice over, and then dump the dirty bin into here. I spray with, this is F10. I get the concentrate and then just mix small amounts into bottles. Wipe it down with the paper towels. I used to rinse with water afterwards, but it's not really necessary. Then I do a layer of PDZ at the bottom. I use this container just so I can basically shake it into the tub. And then I use the flake shavings from Tractor Supply. Previously I used Aspen, but I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. I actually like the pine flake better just because it has more loft, so it kind of takes up more space, and they like to play around and nest in it. For my water bottles, instead of having to go constantly into the house, we got these. They're from like the like the picnic section at Walmart. It's mostly for like putting like lemonade and stuff like that in. There's these smaller size, and we also have a larger size here. I like to use these chalk markers to write on the bins. For the rats, I'll write down the rat's name, the date it was clean, and then what date they gave birth. For the mice, I don't name the mice, but I do the same thing with the date it was clean. And then this is the genetics, the visible genetics of the male by the visible genetics of the female, and keep tracks of their birth dates also. I do use water bottles. I don't have any plans to go to a watering system. This is because I don't want to deal with the maintenance of it and worrying about whether somebody's gonna chew through it, it's gonna leak or something like that. I don't really mind the bottles. These are the ones from Walmart. They're pretty cheap. They're like $3. Sometimes they do leak. We usually just throw them away and get new ones. You can see for the hides, I work at the garden center in Lowe's, so I get basically we throw plants away. I can get free pots. So I use the smaller ones for the mice, and then you can see the larger ones over here that I end up using for the rats. I also usually have more boxes, but they tear those up. Then I can get cardboard tubes for my work also, and the rats enjoy playing in those. And of course, just the PVC tubes. The good thing about PVC tubes as opposed to cardboard is you can soak them in bleach or F10 or whatever, basically kill off anything and clean them. Cleans them pretty well. These little bowls you can get at Walmart, a package of like, I don't know, like 50 I think for $2, and I just end up cutting a hole in them for as an entrance. And then of course, everybody uses cardboard tubes from like toilet paper and all the paper towels you end up using. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, just post a comment and I'll try to answer them for you.